Generoso, initiate boarding.
Well noted.
Hi there. Great day for flying, isn't it? Today, you're flying with Maria for a Toronto Discovery Tour. I'm sure you'll have a great time with her. She's super nice and curious to know more about our aviation world. If her seatbelt is fastened, you're all set. Let's fly.
Lima India Mike Alpha traffic. Max 09, Charlie Sierra Foxtrot 4612 is taxiing to runway 10 left, Lima India Mike Alpha.
Hi, thanks for taking me aboard. I'm Maria.
Alpha traffic. Max 09, Charlie Sierra Foxtrot 4612, taking off runway 10 left. Departure to north, Lima India Mike Alpha.
So exciting. Okay, a bit nervous too. I won't lie to you. Feeling a bit anxious, but there's no backing out now. So far, so good. expected. Bring on the awesome pics of this scenic flight.
The sensation of weightlessness. Never felt this before.
articulate, but wow. Vincendo looked brilliant. It's like a movie or something. Check this vista, guys. I'm getting goosebumps. I didn't imagine such a view. You really got me up close and personal. Even the light seems different from up here.
Max 09, Charlie Sierra Foxtrot 4612, 4 miles northeast, 2200, inbound to land, runway 10 left, Lima India Mike Alpha. 4612 is on final. Runway 10 left to land. Lima India Mike Alpha.
Still pretty bumpy. I think I bit my tongue when we touched down.
Lima India Mike Alpha traffic. Max 09. Charlie Sierra Foxtrot 4612 is taxiing to parking. Lima India Mike Alpha.
Welcome back, guys. So, Maria, did you enjoy? Ready to do it again?
I'm ready for another go-round, Captain.
Hey, Ben. Did you get more Wario done?
I see the client is much more enthusiastic than when you took off.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much extra stuff there is. I know the Wario games usually have hidden stuff, but I didn't expect that much.
Than when you took off. Cool. Maybe a new aviation fan on board with us.
I really didn't aim for comfort when designing this plane. We got cuff holders, so that's something. Not a lot of leg room, it looks like, though. I didn't think the landing was that bad. Whatever, we survived, that's what matters. I haven't played this in a while, so I flew the airplane just in case I was rusty, which I was. Can't afford any repairs. I gotta save up for more certifications. Right. Definitely not. It's kind of funny, like, you get used to chat and how certain people talk. You can pick up on who's who immediately with almost out looking at their names. I'm not sure how scenic this route's gonna be, but we gotta make that coin. Man, I hope that's not the passenger. They look kind of disgruntled. Especially if it involves logs. Or a font that kind of emulates the look of nipples. You gotta give him credit for his creativity, I guess. Yeah, it'll probably be less of a headache. Wonder if that game got a strategy guide back in the day. Man, I miss those. I find them so much easier to use than looking up a YouTube video. Because, like, with a guide, I can go exactly where I want to. I don't have to, like, skim through all this footage. I thought it was a pretty good stream with all the conversation going on. Those are often when you get your most subs. At least I feel like it is. Like when good conversation and stuff is going on. Unless you're trying to break a world record, sometimes I think that matters more than the actual gameplay. Yeah, it's a shame they don't have them anymore. I used to love getting strategy guides, the few that I had, and just like actually look at a physical map and like have it sit in my lap and just flip it through the index just really fast. Kind of annoying. Like FAQs aren't even a thing as much anymore. Everything's on YouTube, and I just hate skimming through like just to find that specific part that I'm at. Yeah, peanuts, amongst other things. It's really a potpourri of foul things, to be honest. I would hate to see one of those peanuts under a electron microscope and see what's crawling all over it. Probably enough life to basically populate a planet over time.
Everything's fine, Timothy. You can initiate boarding.
Okay, on their way.
You see like those videos like where that dude like takes like pond water and watches what grows inside of the jar. Take a bar peanut, see what happens.
Hey, Captain. Feels like the right time for a scenic adventure. Today, you're flying with Thomas for Toulouse to...
Wow, he couldn't have acted that out more brilliantly.
If your passengers are comfortably seated, you're good to go. Let's go, Captain. Thumbs up.
Hey guys, are you comfortably seated? Let me look there. Nice beard. You might have a tiny case of lice. Hook you up with a fine tooth comb. Alright, let's get this going. Let me adjust the seat a little bit. Put my phone book underneath me. Alright, let's go.
Last board's ground. Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo 1810. Request taxi for departure to the west with uniform. Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo 1810. Taxi to and hold short of runway tree using taxiway alpha. Contact tower on 122.7 when ready.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Taxiing. Hold short.
Let me turn off the emergency brake and let's pray we don't go too fast and get docked for speeding as we typically do.
So happy to be here, Captain. I'm Thomas. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Frederic. I'm hanging out with Thomas for this flight. Lucky me.
First rule of this plane, no talking to the pilot. I didn't know they wanted me to do stunts. Who invented this lane? Dr. Seuss? Alright, guys, I'm gonna have to stop at this hold short. Hope it's okay with you all. I just hear my plane squeaking. I don't know if that's a good sound. The SNES one or Pilot Wing 64, either ones I think are fun. A lot of people crap on the Super Nintendo one, but I think it's a fun game. Also pretty impressive, especially for as early as it is. I think the reason why I like this game so much is Pilot Wings. Yeah, that'll be fun. I think the SNES one's often overlooked. Especially since they did like a angry video game nerd video on it.
Lasbourne Tower, Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo 1810. Ready for departure to the west at runway Tree.
Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo 1810, QNH 101 Tree West departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway Tree.
Like the SNES version was so cool with the jetpack and the skydiving and stuff. There really wasn't anything else like that on console, at least.
A bit nervous, but I'll be fine. Can't wait to see the view from...
Even though it's primitive by today's standards, I still really like both Pilot Wings and Pilot Wing 64. I wish this game had a bird suit.
Not sure if I'm actually ready, but no choice now, huh?
Nope, you're stuck with me now.
We're flying!
Alright, a little delayed reaction. They want me to turn fairly early.
Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo 1810, continue for west departure.
It was a pretty populated area. So much stuff to look at. Gotta take these a-holes on a tour. Such is pilot life.
Seeing the world from up here, everything's so clear and detailed.
Yeah, that's why it's probably good to like think of maybe a few to play. So you can rotate. Or just have a library on hand and just switch games when you get tired of one. That's what I try to do the few times I did a retro stream. Just to keep my interest going. And then if I like a game, maybe do a video on it. Or a dedicated stream or something.
Awesome. I see the roofs. Look over here.
I think I might start doing some retro videos just because they're easier to do than the more modern game videos. You can pretty much cover most retro games in 15 minutes. I think that's where the average person's attention span is when it comes to videos. On average, I know there's exceptions. Also need to figure out how to put like icons on the videos. Do a little animation or just some still picture. As much as I hate to do it, I feel like I gotta remind people. I'll have hour-long conversations. I'm like, geez, you didn't even like the video. Was the conversation that bad?
I've never seen anything like that.
I just think sometimes people need to be reminded, but I don't want to be that person. So I'll just put an animation. I don't want to beg anyone. But it does help you get seen more. And that's really more what it's about.
What a sightseeing tour. Get ready, here comes some crazy photos.
I just want YouTube to be like, oh, this might be something other people might be interested in.
I was worried that
It'd be so nice to have a flight stick with a throttle slider. I don't have to physically look at it all the time. I could just have my hand over it and kind of know what position it's in. Yeah. I don't think they have a PS4 version of the retro one that they just released, which is crazy to me. That new mode seems like it'd be pretty awesome,
talking on the radio.
especially if you enjoy like the NES
It's
game.
impressive.
I think I still have the cartridge of the old game. Has the Jaws the Revenge artwork on it. I think that's what it's based on because of the seashells. Also, it has like those plane sections. People can crap on Jaws the Revenge, but nothing looks as awesome as that green screen shark in Jaws 3D. Because they didn't have like the full resolution, so when you watch the 2D version, it's super crappy looking. Because it's only like one eye, basically. Apparently there's a 4K version of Jaws 3
Thanks for showing us that.
on Blu-ray, and they used AI to upscale it. And the crowd at the SeaWorld place kind of looks like mutants. Because I guess it didn't know how to interpret the crowd. Yeah. They look like they were swimming through that mutagen like the turtles were before they turned into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Arms look like all tentacles and stretched out and stuff. Yeah. That's why it's not AI, at least right now with today's technology, isn't always the best approach for a remaster. It's more time consuming, but it's better to go frame by frame to avoid those mutants. That's why the Criterions look so good, because they go frame by frame. It doesn't like do anything super incredible with like the HDR or any special effects. Just tries to get it to look as close as the film as possible, but avoids like discrepancies like mutants in the background, so that's a plus. Oh, this plane overheats. Let me slow it down some. For somebody who is well known and who is a successful director as James Cameron, he does not have the best remasters, because I think he relies on a lot of AI. I remember people complained about the 4K version of T2. Like apparently, like he changed the color tone to look super blue. He made fun of like the video files for complaining about it. They did fix that section with the Arnold mask though. That's one thing good they did. When like he's riding with John Connor, you can kind of tell it's a stunt guy with the mask on. I hope in the next flight sim game, if you do enough stunts, you can make the passengers vomit. That would sell the game to me right there. I wonder if you're allowed to listen to the radio in a plane. Obviously, you have to listen to the radio to talk to people, but I mean like music or whatnot.
1810 is 7 miles northwest, 1400 with uniform to land.
Like I'm doing as I play.
Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo 1810, Last Force Tower. QNH 101 tree, fly left traffic runway tree.
Yeah. I mean, unless they hear it, you like, what are they gonna do? Like, fly up and catch you?
I'm totally...
Just sneak your phone up into the plane.
But, wow.
I mean, you gotta stay awake somehow. I imagine you would get sleepy just listening to the motor the whole time. They need to like have like seats that like shock you like every hour or so to make sure that you're awake.
Are you okay? Not too scared?
Not at all. I'm too impressed to be
I'm
scared.
surprised the game isn't chugging with all this geometry down here. I guess sometimes when the game stutters, it's more of an internet issue. Because it seems to handle all this geometry pretty fine. It's crazy to think all this stuff is being streamed and I'm streaming at the same time. I'm surprised the streams don't look worse. Alright, we gotta slow the F down. We're going way too fast here. Once we get to 70s, we'll adjust the flaps. Guess we better be precise here. There's not a lot of room for error. Not a lot of open space here. Alright, let's lower the flaps a bit. There we go. That'll help us hover a little bit more. Speed up a little bit. I gotta baby this throttle. It's easy to speed up, but it takes forever to slow down. Hey buddy, there's enough room for you to come up. Cat is not taking up that much space.
Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo 1810, wind calm, clear to land runway tree.
Clear to land runway tree. Max 09 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo
Alright, let's try not to speed up too much when we try to recover from this turn. Hold on, let me see the whole thing that you typed. Why did it cancel out the message after 2 words? Yeah, since it's the whole world, I have to, like, it has to stream it. There's no way it could fit it on the hard drive. And then on top of that, I'm doing a live stream, so it's pretty crazy that it's even able to do it. Especially since PlayStation limits the bandwidth. Like, I have fast enough internet, but I'm just surprised with PlayStation's bandwidth, it doesn't, like, lower the quality of the picture because it's so much data. But it must be pretty efficient with how it streams it. But yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing to think, like, all these buildings and everything are being streamed via the internet. Like, the file size of this game isn't that big at all. Shit, we're going too fast. This runway is not that long.
Perfect landing.
Dude, just be happy you're alive. I think we're gonna go off-road here. You wanted a tour. A longer runway would be greatly appreciated.
Welcome back, guys. So, Thomas, did you enjoy? Ready to do it again?
What an exciting ride.
I really should have hit that at 60, but I didn't have enough runway there. And I didn't want to do it over again. So we could enjoy the nice view of this field. I like how on the triggers you actually can feel all the bumps. The good news is the plane's intact. I'm so glad I didn't fly my own personal plane. I could not afford the repairs. I knew I was going to be rusty. Also, all the planes do have a unique feel. You'll get used to flying one type of plane, and then you'll fly another one and it'll throw you off. This is probably someone's favorite part of the game, is taxiing. I know on PC they have live air traffic control. I've not heard it in this game. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's probably for the best. I don't want to be scolded for my flying. I feel like they had modern versions of the game in some sort of mini game. In one of their mini games with mini games that they make. I thought the Nintendo Championship thing they made was a pretty good idea. I think they should do more of that. Like they had that one game for the Switch. And then they had one, I think, for the Wii or Wii U. Right. Yeah, that seems like a game made for someone like you, or people that like to just do challenges or revisit old games. Kind of like, it's like a more advanced version of those WarioWare games, which were always kind of cool. I don't know if they would sell it at, well, they sold Advance Wars 1 and 2 at full price. That was pretty good. Like outsource it the way forward or something. You could do something with the formula. Maybe have like a few classics and like have like a original and arrange mode, kind of like how they did with the Game and Watch games, and maybe sell them at half price or something. I don't know how to, GB. I don't know where they want me to park. It looked like right here, but I don't know. Yeah, it was right here.
Turned your passengers into flight addicts, haven't you? Anyway,
I'm sorry.
anxiety has turned into excitement. Well done.
I didn't get my credit and I was already at the right space. Dang it. Oh well. I'll just have to cut into my funds a little bit. Barely making gas money. I did not think I was gonna get a like cut some money out of that. So many choices. What is this? Yeah, that's nuts. But if you've been looking at PC components, it makes sense. Like everything's outrageous right now. Like there's not a real good alternative to gaming besides streaming, unfortunately. Because everything's up. First time in my life I ever had a console that actually increased in value over time when they were still producing it. Yeah, somebody wants one. I have a feeling in the future I'll go back down eventually. They're talking about the PlayStation 6 being less than the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is kind of crazy to think about. I hope the hell it has a disk drive and backwards compatibility. Being backwards compatible with PS4 games is one of PS5's best features, especially how it like improves the gameplay in a lot of the games and performance. Yeah. Luckily they seem to be backing off on it a little bit because I think they're starting to see the impact finally of what it's doing to like the the industry and basically how things aren't affordable right now. And we as consumers are the ones that have to put money back into the economy. Yeah. Well, I think there's plenty of games coming out. It just depends what you like. All right. But yeah, backwards compatibility should be a thing in general. Especially if you invested in an ecosystem. It always kind of made me sad when the PS4 came out. Like it couldn't even play like PlayStation 1 games. I was always hoping they'd add like a PS2 emulator in the PS4. I guess they kind of did with like the classic games, but not necessarily same thing. I would have been happy to pay like $20-$30 for a program that let me put in like my PS2 discs and have them run natively. That would have made me happy. Because some games will never get re-released, like licensed games and stuff like that.
Hi there. It's Widad.
That's why sometimes when you see like the collections, for instance, the Jurassic Park collection, they're removing it from the store because it has a movie license, and I guess it ran out.
Needs to get to Embodifo Tatra promptly. Our sensitive cargo containers are built to handle slight turbulence, but maintain a constant.
Yeah, I don't think they could have done PlayStation 3, considering PC still struggles with it with certain games, but they definitely could have done PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1. Because they were basically already doing it. But PlayStation 3, and even on PS5, they stream. I'd be curious where the technology would be with the PS5, though. Let me announce my little taxi.
Mike November, Charlie Traffic, Max 09 Papa, Sierra Romeo 508 is taxiing to runway 29er. Foxtrot Mike November Charlie.
Yeah, that would have been my dream. It would have saved me money back in the day. If they didn't have overheating problems, those fat PlayStation 3s would be valuable because they had native PS2 emulation and like better video processing, so the PS2 games looked better than they did on a PS2. Unfortunately, they took that feature out fairly quickly. Part of the problem is they actually had a literal PS2 chip in the PlayStation 3, and that was making it more expensive. That was one of the ways they cut the prices when they released like the slim model. Shit, I remember when they announced the PlayStation 3, like at $600 or so. I was thinking maybe like $400 at the most. Nope. I just remember my stomach sinking when they announced the price. $600 for a console?
Foxtrot Mike November, Charlie Traffic. Max
Now we're like wishing for those kind of prices on something advanced.
off runway 29er. Departure to the south. Foxtrot Mike November, Charlie.
I think it was still being sold at a loss too. Alright, are we gonna have to do a U-turn this way? Which way are we taking off from? Come on, you can do it. Have to rely on this propeller for all the momentum. Can I even see the cargo in here? Yep, a bunch of cardboard boxes. I'm tempted to take one of those cardboard boxes and open it up and peek inside. Wonder if there's anything good in there. Probably something lame like a George Foreman grill. Dang, are we near the end of this thing yet? Alright, finally. Let's not tip over the plane, as tempting as that might be. Alright, here we go. Let me see what you type. PlayStation cuts everything off after 3 words, it seems. Unfortunately, yeah, it has. Just because it's catered to larger channels. And it's become less community based. It doesn't feel too far off from network television, but to be fair, it's the thing I probably watch the most these days and participate the most in. So it must not be so bad. But yeah, like back in the day, I felt like it was more enjoyable. Even with like less people, you had more of a community. People will comment more, interact. I don't know, it was a different time. And even though people didn't have the highest production values, I don't know, it felt more real, like people just filming in front of their like TV screen or camera and stuff like that. I remember when YouTube was fairly new, you could literally watch like any old TV show, commercial, anything. It felt so magical. It's so cool now. It's just harder to find like smaller channels and stuff like that. And I'm not just saying it because of like my channel or whatever. I just mean when I try to find channels I enjoy watching, I have a difficult time versus like what they show me. Yeah, it's starting to feel like something like something you would get like on like broadcast television, the more commercial it gets, or even cable. But I feel like it's inevitable with most things that make money. Hopefully they'll come out with like a replacement that like gears itself towards smaller creators. But eventually that'll grow and become like broadcast television too, so if it does come out, we'll just have to enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah. You used to be able to watch like all those shows like on YouTube that like you remembered as a kid, like stuff you forgot about. Like YouTube circa like 2007, and everything was on there. I spent so many hours like just having flashbacks, all these shows and stuff I forgot about. Good times. And I do enjoy like those low production value gaming videos, like where people would film in front of their TV and the glow was so bright you could barely make out the image. But I don't know, it had personality. I enjoyed those videos. Like their pets would get in the way of the screen and stuff. The quality's a lot better now, that's something. I remember when ads were a fairly new thing. Yeah, I love you can't do that on television. We have Paramount Plus. Well, I guess my dad does and just shares it, but they actually have some episodes of You Can't Do That on Television, which is pretty great. Yeah, I just love the homemade, like, public access television vibe YouTube used to have. Almost so like pirate radio, but for video. Yes, and I also have the Atari game. Why are these pages stuck together? That used to be one of my favorite things. There used to be a channel. I used to get off of work really late. Like, I wouldn't get home till like 1. And there's this dude that used to stream in the UK, like super early and sometimes super late. And he played retro games. And they were so bright you could barely make out the image of his TV. But man, it was so endearing. I used to look forward to those streams. One of the few streams I used to have on, but it was like at like 240p or something. It wasn't like great looking, but again, charming. You just can't replicate that. Yeah, people in general don't comment that much either, like on regular videos, which I kind of miss. Like back in the day, you could have like 15 subs and get like 15 comments, like 15 likes. Like now you have to constantly remind people, and I don't think it's their fault. I just think how it's content's presented to them, it's just very like disposable. Go on to the next thing. You don't think about liking, spreading the algorithm unless you're like a content creator yourself or whatever. Yeah, I've been, for real. That used to be like one of my favorite things, is just to get feedback, not even popularity. Like, it felt good just to have like a 15-member channel, because you'd get a conversation going just in the comment section. You don't really see stuff like that anymore. But it's also like oversaturated with gaming content. There's like only a handful of people that are willing to record in front of their TV, and even less people with any kind of capture card. I think after like the PlayStation 4, where they had the share button, like streaming became more popular and recording game content as more people had a way. To me, it's less about the game and more about the vibe. Well, you can play like Barbie's Space Adventure, and if it's a fun stream, like, I'll hang out. I don't think Barbie's Space Adventure is a real game before you try to look it up. I would not be surprised if it was a real game, though. I'm not sure if I've ever flown this plane before. It just probably has a different paint job. They didn't spare any room. Oh, that sucks. That's on the content creator's part. Unless you have like thousands upon thousands of like subs and comments, I don't know how you can't find time to reply to everyone. Especially if you're a smaller channel, you should be grateful that people are trying to engage with you. I can get them slipping up every once in a while, but on average, I feel like that's one of the few responsibilities you have. Now, if you're a huge streamer or content creator, I can understand you replying to like the first few hundred comments or whatever. But to be fair, a lot of people don't comment anymore. It's quite rare. Most of the comments I see are from other content creators because they know the struggle. Yeah. Well, you're a small channel. That's one of the few things you can do. Like if a smaller channel is doing that to you, that's kind of sucky on their end. You got like 3 comments and you can't spend like 3 minutes on each of them. But you're going to put all that effort into YouTube. I don't understand it. What is fuel looking like? Alright, so we won't crash in the ocean. That's promising. Somebody needs their cardboard boxes. Let's check out and see. Some poor soul probably scanned these boxes. They have an adequate amount of dirt on them and everything. Fragile. Good thing I don't have passengers. I don't think I'd make a good pilot. I get so sleepy. I like how the yoke has like a little clipboard thing on it. It's like being in a boat. You barely feel like you're moving. I remember being out in the bay with the motorboat, and I got really far out, And on the way back, I thought my arm was gonna fall off trying to steer the thing. Took forever. Sometimes you can get back really fast when the tide's coming in and you plan it just right. And just basically coast you to the shore. I wonder if there's a PS5 Pro in one of these things. Amazon will cover it. Alright, are we gonna announce our position or what? We're getting pretty close. Also, something tells me I should probably slow down a little bit. I have a feeling this runway is not going to be terribly long. This tiny little strip over here. Yep, it's a tiny little strip. I see it on the map. Slow down, the engines are overheating a little bit. Alright, I have a feeling landing on this is going to be quite scary. They're probably going to want you to land the minute you announce that you want to land. How high up are we? We're quite a ways up.
Foxtrot Mike Alpha Delta traffic. Max 09 Papa, Sierra Romeo 508. 6 miles northwest, 2300, inbound to land, runway 25. Foxtrot Mike Alpha Delta.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I kind of started right after they kind of stopped pushing smaller channels. But I remember right before they would like highlight small channels on the main page and stuff. And that's how you would find all these smaller creators. Now, like, smaller creators don't even exist. It's like word of mouth. Basically run into people on other people's streams. So yeah, definitely. But if you do know how to work the algorithm, it's a pain in the butt. You're basically making content that you probably don't want to make. But if you make the kind of content that YouTube wants you to make, it's a little bit easier to grow, and then maybe switch to what you want to do. I guess I'm kind of stubborn in that way. Right now, YouTube loves shorts. Shorts and streams. Videos don't seem to be their main priority lately, although that's what I enjoy making the most. It's just hard to do all three at the same time. Like if I'm streaming, I can't work on a video. And I don't want to like just clip my stream as a video. Alright, I'm trying to figure out what this nonsense is. What is the trajectory of this thing? I hope one day they come out with a decent flight stick for PS5 that's not terribly too expensive. I'm hoping with Ace Combat 8 they'll come out with something, since that's probably going to be the more popular game. That's basically what made them create a stick for the PS4. We should, and wear it on stream. And then Butterbite can ask them if it's being made ethically. $35, that's what they're going for. Always GB. I want to have a t-shirt with that key lime pie on it. And just have it say MD Max 09 Live. If I ever got big enough where I did have shirts though, I would try to make something cool. I would do some original artwork for like the t-shirts. I wouldn't just try to half-ass it or anything. I try to make shit that people would actually want. Have you seen the shirts? I didn't know he had shirts. Remember that used to be a fairly popular thing back in the day? And I didn't see it as much anymore. I guess it's popular again. Wouldn't mind having some coffee mugs too. Shirts and mugs. Get some of those thermal mugs that change color when they have hot liquid in them. I just want to see the runway so I can just gauge it. Oh crap, I still got a radio. My left hand's on the analog stick, so I gotta reach over with my right hand and push left on the D-pad to radio that I'm going on the runway. Gotta do a little acrobatics here. Come on, come on, come on. That's the runway? That's just a patch of dirt.
Max 09 Papa, Sierra
And I'm going way too fast somehow.
Runway 25 to land. Foxtrot Mike Alpha Delta.
Don't worry, the cargo is still good as long as we don't go into the water. Oh, a little walkway. It's still going even though the brakes are firmly applied. How was that even like a runway? Oh, well, I guess we're here. Looks like I landed on some island from National Geographic. Oh wow, they gave me quite a bit of money for that one. Wow, level 39. I don't even know what benefits that has. I'm excited to be part of it. That's the little strip I had to land on. I'll be right back. Yeah, Ben I could see. Other one, I don't know. What are they for? Like ages 3 to 45? You know it, Matt. How's your weekend going? Just have two biscuit eyes on the shirt like the cat's logo. Apparently it thinks it snowed here. That sounds cool. Gonna hit up that Simpsons game. Nice. What are some of your favorite pinball machines? I love the one I think it's called Medieval Madness. The Addams Family one's cool. The Twilight Zone one's pretty cool. Like I'm not very good at it. That's like one that a lot of pros play, but it's cool because it has like invisible flippers and stuff like that, where it uses magnets. I bet that machine's worth a small fortune. And the older Indiana Jones one, I like the one that doesn't have the crystal skull in it. It has like a gun for a plunger. There's two different models. There might be more now. Yeah, I think I played the Jaws one, now that I recall.
You can sim my clients. Okay, on their way.
Also loved Bride of Pinbot, although it kind of sounds inappropriate when you play it in front of your grandparents at the laundromat.
Captain, seems like you're ready. Isn't it just perfect for a little tour?
Why are there never any runways? Use a shirt with a biscuit cat with Leon's hair.
Let's go, Captain. Thumbs up.
For November, Charlie 7 traffic. Max 09 Foxtrot, Delta Lima.
Why they put me in someone's backyard?
For November, Charlie 7.
Hi, thanks for taking us aboard. I'm
Wow,
Mary.
that was right in my eardrum. Thank you.
It's awesome hanging out with you today.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Smoothies for Ben. I feel like that would be on brand. Too bad he can't get his own avocado toast. Which way are they expecting us to go? Alright, I'm just gonna go out to the end here and turn around. Be nice if they actually started me at an actual airport. The HDR in this game is subtle, but it really pops, like with all the LED lights on the control panels and stuff. It looks kind of cool. Alright, I guess we better turn around. Announced that I was going to take off the runway. I wasn't even sure if I was on it.
As you know, I'm really anxious about this flight, Captain.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's just get this over with. This isn't good. Alright, hopefully this will go better this time.
You can send my clients.
My clients. The fancy car. But then again, they must have money to afford flight tours.
Captain, seems like you're ready. Isn't it just perfect for a little tour?
The perfectness.
You're soaring over Garner with Mary and her husband. Seatbelt fastened, then you're all set. Let's go, Captain. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Because that's what a normal person says.
4 November, Charlie 7 traffic. Max 09 Foxtrot, Delta Lima, 219er is taxiing to runway 19er for November, Charlie 7.
Hi, thanks for taking us aboard. I'm Mary.
Hey there, I'm Michael. It's awesome hanging out with you today.
This a-hole stole my name.
November, Charlie 7 traffic. Max 09 Foxtrot, Delta Lima, 219er. Taking off runway 19er. West departure for November, Charlie 7.
As you know, I'm really anxious about this flight, Captain.
As you know, I'm not interested in your personal story. Alright. Are we just supposed to take off here? That just does not seem like enough runway.
Not sure if I'm actually ready.
But not sure if we're gonna make it.
My heart's pounding louder than the engine.
Yeah, your and mine both. Okay, we survived. Damn, they barely gave us anything. Crazy to think the same people that made this made the Plague's Tale games. And you need to still finish the second one. I really like those games. Probably explains why the graphics are so nice in this game. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of more. Looks like we're getting some turbulence here.
The view. It's incredible.
That acting, breathtaking. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is slow down the plane a little bit and kind of bank so we can do a turn like so. Now we're gonna pull up on the yoke a little bit, like here. Alright, now we're turning. This is good, this is promising. Alright, I'm starting to feel it. Now we're gonna increase the throttle a little bit. Then we're gonna bank again to level out. And there we go. Look at that. We're basically professionals now.
Never have pictured something like this. I'm feeling better now. I'm almost enjoying the ride.
Almost.
Big thanks to our pilot, Captain. You're really looking out for us. That's great.
I mean, she's still borderline terrified.
Is that the Garden Recreation Park we see over there?
Probably need to go up a little bit more before we slow down. Doesn't seem like there's much to see down there, but they seem pleased.
Amazing! Just like I imagined. My photos are going to be awesome.
Right when she set that, my plane started to stall. Not a good sign. Heathrow Park. Alright, let's go. So let's increase the throttle or we drop out of the sky.
I don't feel afraid or dizzy. What a nice surprise.
Alright, we gotta go down to 82. Got it.
You told us it would be an amazing experience, and you were right.
I didn't tell you anything. You must be talking to the other guy. I think we gotta go to another place. That's a scary angle. Slow the engine down a little bit. It's flashing at me. Okay, it looks like a bunch of trees. I'm not sure why they want to fly around this, but they're paying me, so I won't say anything.
Look, it's better than a postcard.
Are you sure? I remember there was one on Sega Genesis my sister used to rent. I don't even remember what you did on it.
We were going too fast. I would have loved more time to admire the scenery. I really want a selfie with it. Could you fly super slow when we pass over it?
Do something real quick. Maybe the simulation game will be kind of like dumbed down so they can learn about it. It might be really cool. It sounds like a game I would have liked if I was into that franchise. I think they had it when I was a kid. I just didn't see it on TV that much.
Are you okay? Not too scared?
Not at all. I'm too impressed to be scared.
I got disoriented because I wasn't pausing reading messages. My bad. Luckily we didn't crash, so everything's good. I gotta master multitasking one of these days. I wish they just patched it so you could see the entire message on the PS5, but I need to be a grown-up and just use OBS. It's just so much easier to push share. Yeah, I don't think they will though.
What's going on, Michael?
5 years later.
Pretty quiet?
I'm just soaking all of it
I don't know how or why they didn't fix it, but they refused to. I guess they assume everybody's using OBS now. I'm not sure. But considering they advertised the feature, I don't understand it. Come on, announce it. There you go.
November, Charlie 7 traffic. Max 09 Foxtrot, Delta Lima, 219er is on final. Runway.
Maybe with PlayStation 6 they'll actually have proper options. It'd be cool if they had different templates and stuff you could choose. What's funny is the Share Factory little video editing feature on PS5 is fairly detailed. It doesn't match the effort of the share button. Is this going to be one of those field runways? Because I don't see any pavement. Also, how high are we? If that's accurate, not very high. As long as you lower it down in a basket, GB. The fuck are we even going? Things like scraping the tips of the trees. Are you kidding me? Is this it? How the F is that a runway? I can't see anything. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. They just want me to land in that person's backyard, I think. I think these areas to land might be procedurally generated. Not all are created equal, it seems. I think they might exist in real life, but I don't think they have data on how they actually are. I think this is probably just a random farm somewhere. I'm trying my best. I gotta basically like drop the plane where it needs to land. No. Fuck. I'm trying to go so slow. Come on, we gotta do this for a little while. I gotta take Faye out soon. Let's just try to land if we can. I gotta do it for me. I gotta use the restroom too. It's like my mind knows it's towards the end of the stream. The problem is, when I went over it, I didn't see a runway. Hopefully I just didn't see it. It just looks like it's just like a backyard. And then maybe you can steer into a field. I'm wondering if it'd be better just to like land on some of this stuff over here. Let's stay at 60 at least. You got some of these flight sim pros that can like land on like a runway that's like 5 feet long. I'm not one of those people, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm guessing this is it somehow. And I don't understand why. Wow, it's doing Tony Hawk stunts. Oh man, I was hoping like we'd be on the ground. Yeah, I don't see us landing on this thing. Maybe it's covered with snow, but I don't even see where we're supposed to land. I see it on the map, but there's trees in the way, so I don't know. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to stop here for now. Sorry you didn't get to see the grand finale, but the plane did a few tricks when it crashed, so that was kind of impressive. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll talk to you on the next one, and I'm gonna take Faye out for a walk. Take care. Bye.